So we are about to get underway with this, the Wargrave Challenge Cup between Tyne Amateur Rowing Club on the left-hand side of your picture in the black and white, and Leander Club on the right-hand side of your picture in that famous pink cerise. And they move away from the stake boats and down that iconic course, past the island, and it's been a great start here for Leander, Akil.
Yeah, I'm excited about this race to see, the performance between these two crews. We have some really experienced rowers in these races. From Leander, we have in the bow Helen Kirkpatrick, U23 European champion in 2019 and 2017. Diamond Jubilee with St. Paul's Girls' School.
Wow, so lots of experience in both of these crews, and quite close here off the end of the island. Leander probably the form crew on paper, but while Tyne Amateur Rowing Club, they've had quite the regatta here at Henley, not just in this crew, but in many others. And this crew yesterday had probably my race of the regatta. They were racing A.R.C Club of Norway, and they rowed through in maybe the final 15 strokes of keel. It was amazing.
I saw that race. I was actually sitting over in the steward's box, and I couldn't believe it. I was jumping up and down. It was not proper decorum for a steward.
It was that exciting. I think it had a lot of people on their feet. So they currently trail by a length. This was the situation that they were in this time yesterday. But Leander Club, throughout the season, have been the on-form crew, having beaten them just a few weeks ago. Tyne Amateur Rowing Club with some changes in this crew. We've had a sort of late entry into the boat. Amy Bowman, who raced this crew on the left-hand side of your picture that's trailing in the Henley Women's Regatta just 2 weeks ago on the same course, is out with an injury. They've had Frances Russell, who's jumped into this crew in the 3-seat last minute. And I mean, that's never easy, is it, Akil, to try and join a crew that's already quite well gelled together? Yeah,
that what you said there, gel. Like, crews spend the year trying to get together, trying to really learn about each other, really having that sort of chemistry to allow them to go fast and depend on each other when it's a hard race. So she's got a lot on her shoulders, but hopefully they can pull out some magic like they did yesterday.
Well, they're currently down on Leander Club on the left-hand side of your picture. And like you've already said, Akil, this crew has had, a really great season. They've got some excellent talent in this boat. And it will be their development athletes in this crew racing in the Wargrave Challenge Cup.
Yeah. And that's always impressive to see these athletes who are on the up and coming.
You join us. This is the Wargrave Challenge Cup between Leander Club on the left-hand side of your picture on the Buck Station, and Tyne Amateur Rowing Club on the right-hand side of your picture. And look at that, Temple Island beaming in the sunshine here on a beautiful Henley semi-finals evening, and on home water, a club that was very familiar with that site, Akil, Leander Club.
Yeah, it's really nice to be able to race on your home course. These women row here quite often, so there's nothing really to really throw them something to throw them off. And so having that experience of rowing here really helps them be relaxed, and we're going to see what they do here next.
Yeah, they are a talented group that will build through, and so many of these, as you say, Grace Denning-Smitherman in the 2-seat racing the Diamond Jubilee. We've got Alice Ives that raced in the Island Challenge Cup last year. There's plenty of people in that Leander crew that have got lots of familiarity down this course. Tyne, a great fact I learned about them today is none of this crew had ever won a race on the Henley Royal Regatta course until this week, and they've made it to the Saturday of this regatta. How amazing is that?
That's something to be proud of in and of itself. This is a very demanding race. You never know who you're going to get in the draw, and the first day you could race the winner.
Well, the winners of this race at the moment, as we reach the midway point of this course, Leander Club. You can just see how bouncy the water is, and I know that if you've been joining us for the coverage throughout the day and throughout the week, actually, the state of the water is one of the big things that people learn about this course. And Leander will be used to this, but maybe not in the sort of busy river traffic and everything like it is on the Saturday of the regatta?
You know, that's always a tough thing. You know, we have the booms here. The water bounces back in between the umpire's launch. So it can be really challenging for crews that aren't used to rowing in rough water.
Well, speaking of crews that row in tough water, I mean, I used to row at Durham University, just across the road from these guys at Tyne Amateur Rowing Club. And that river, you know, it's a tidal river up there in the northeast. These guys can get some really rough water up there. So they'll be used to that, certainly. And look at that, the sort of gritting of the teeth there from Kat Bulmer in the 5 seat, the former Newcastle University president. A lot of these athletes actually have sort of just moved from university rowing at Newcastle across the river to now row for Tyne. And it's great to see that kind of stepping stone for these events now, these women's club events that exist. We can keep people in the sport beyond university.
And that's really important, you know. If you're not able to go straight to your international team, you have the ability to develop. And sometimes you just have that situation where an athlete just needs a little bit more time before they're ready to step up. And so it's great that Tyne is doing that and hopefully producing some of the next generation of GB rowers.
Yeah, and I think that, again, crews in this event often come from, you know, from the Thames region, or certainly from kind of south of the Midlands. Great to see a crew from the northeast here getting through to the Saturday of the regatta, and look at them, they're still really chasing it in this evening sunlight. I just, you know, again, can't believe that none of them had ever won a race at Henley here until this week. So, you know, they're obviously going to put everything out here on the water. They've waited all day for this race, and they're going to try and close that gap as much as possible.
And that's the thing about this regatta. You know, even if you are behind by 4 lengths, you still give it your all, because this is it. You know, if you don't make it, there's no more racing after this, which can be fun at some point, but you want to race and you want to win.
Yeah, you want to race, you want to win, and currently this winning crew, we're looking at the back there of Helen Kirkpatrick in the bow seat, an under 23 who went to the European Championships in 2019 and has raced many a time here at the regatta. She's done the Remenham, which is the elite women's eights. This is now the club women's eights for her former University Imperial College. And they made the semi-finals last year of the Wargrave. Well, it's going to be one step onwards now for Helen Kirkpatrick, who'll be the first across the line here for Leander in the bow seats to make it through to the final of the Wargrave Challenge Cup, and to potentially tee up the same final as last year, where they lost out to Thames, who we'll see later on in the Thames A, Thames B race on the other half of the draw.
Yeah, and you can see there the reactions on their faces. I love, this is one tradition I love, the hip hip hooray. And there it is, official Tyne moving, sorry, Leander moving ahead in the Wargrave.
Yeah, a great step for them to try and take back the title. They won this event, the Wargrave, in 2021, missed out last year to Thames, who we certainly will see in the final, because it's Thames A versus Thames B in the other semi, so they will race Thames in the final tomorrow.